This is just the best part of my day.
Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. My grandma told your grandma, I'm gonna set your flag on fire. Talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go one day. Oh, Jacques Finade, Jacques Finade. Look at my king all dressed in red. I go one day. I bet you $5 he'll kill you dead. Jacques Finade, talking about hey now, hey now, hey now, hey now. I go one day.
I remember being in high school and they kept trying to give me college credit, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Stop
trying to force 3 credit hours on me.
They never gave me college credit because they were like, you can't take an AP class and be this locked into the theater program. So
same way. I never took an AP class because I was like, I don't have time for all this homework.
It's like I have lines to flowers for Algernon that I need to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I read Flowers for Algernon in English, but you did the play.
Siggy and I also both did Metamorphosis, where we built.
Oh my god, good memory. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. That was crazy. I grew a beard because I was convinced it would make me. I had to do. I don't remember what the scene was, but I had to be a dad, and I was 16 years old.
I had to fuck my dad, and I was 16 years old.
Oh right, this is
Awesome.
right. We did the same thing.
Oh, you were Murrah's dad, and I was Murrah.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. Wait, I was there. You were there
I
too.
was-
Oh, right.
you.
You were my dad. You were my dad, and I had sex
You
with
were
you.
my dad.
I remember.
That's
Right,
right.
when we were 16.
That's
Right.
When we were 16.
But
I mean,
I
what a
grew-
classic like high school theater experience to
It's
like, okay, you are cast as a
crazy.
middle-aged man. You know, pretend
Yeah.
you've been anywhere
And I
close
grew a
to that
beard,
experience.
And my mom was really embarrassed.
And now we're like trans in the other direction, which is fun. That's always fun when that happens.
Oh, you traded trans?
Yeah, we
you
traded
passed
trans.
each other in the animation when you trade Pokemon. Yeah.
If we were to do it again, they would be my daughter, and I would be the
That's
scary
right.
dad. Yeah.
That's the real meaning of T for T.
Also, I don't know if you had your pool filtered, but we didn't, so we kept getting sick because it was like not. it was like there was no filtering system, and
Wow.
it was really cold because it was Missouri, and so we just got sick.
Oh my
It's actually
God.
how I befriended one of my best friends. Is he had a hot tub, and so after rehearsals, I was like, "Hey, can I come use your hot tub?" And that's how we bonded.
Wow, I do remember that my high school was the type of fancy level where we were all given like personalized bathrobes.
Whoa, that's sick.
Because we all went in the
Bathrobes?
pool. Yeah. So we were all given bathrobes. My high school is insane. I mean, this is like a whole longer conversation. But we did.
Yeah.
The theater program took it so seriously. We did Metamorphosis, which was already crazy. But we did Laramie Project. We
That's awesome.
did.
Wow.
Every year that we did like a student one act festival.
We
And
did
I
that.
remember
Oh, for sure.
one year somebody wrote a school shooting play, and it like
There's always one. There's
really caused a
always
ruckus.
one.
And like it was right after I'm dating myself, Columbine. And like
wow.
everybody, like parents were so concerned about it, and like the faculty were, I mean, good on them, were like defending the decision to let it happen. It was just like, I remember it being such
Yeah.
a controversy, like you're turning it into entertainment. And it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is
my
a reality.
senior year, we did kind of like, it wasn't part of the one act festival. It was like a special presentation, you know, that like kids got out of like class, basically like an assembly. And it was like a play set in the afterlife of all these people who committed suicide.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was
vaguely
the
remember this
school
show.
shooter character.
Of course.
And they said, wear, you know, a band t-shirt, wear like, you know, a Metallica t-shirt or an AC/DC t-shirt or something like that. But I didn't own any of those. So the t-shirt that I wore was a Billy Joel Elton John piano face-to-face concert t-shirt. It was the only black band t-shirt that I owned. It was the most offensive thing in my wardrobe.
Very cool.
Was very cool. That was also my first concert, Billy Joel, Elton John.
Wow, that's
pianos.
a good one. That's a good first concert. My first concert was, unfortunately, Linkin Park.
That's sick.
That's not unfortunately. That's awesome.
Yeah, Linkin Park.
Is it?
Yeah, it always
I
has
think
numbers
so.
at karaoke.
I feel like Linkin Park
Absolutely.
went from, like, you know, they were band of the moment, then they were cringe for a long time, and now
They've circled back around. They've circled
Yeah.
back around. If you hit
It
them with
was
a what
definitely
I've
not
done,
cool
a
when
numb,
I did
it's-
it.
yeah.
Mine was Jesse McCartney, which was recently featured in Hacks with
Wow.
Sigi's wife's episode.
You must. We know Jesse. Hannah's best friend is cousins with Jesse McCartney.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my first concert. I remember it vividly.
He's a real sweetheart.
Wow.
He seems like it. He seems like one of the guys that didn't like fall apart after being a child star.
No. He's he's cool. Well, this has been a great episode. Thank you all.
Yeah, wrap it up. How are we going to top that? Frankly, you know, a 3 degrees of separation from Jesse McCartney. I mean, come on, that's our brush with fame.
Oh, brother. Yeah, high school, crazy time. A crazy time to be alive.
High school crazy
Always.
time. All your relationships, you know, in flux. You know, you're figuring out who you are, what you want out of love.
Sure.
Just like the characters in a little film that I've now seen twice called The Mexican.
Wow. Man.
You see that
I just-
expert transition?
So,
That was
so,
really good.
so TV's Kevin Lanigan. What did you think this movie was going to be about? Just based on like poster and what you vaguely knew about it.
For sure. Because this is, of course, Run the Julias, the only podcast brave enough to cover every single cinematic work of America's sweetheart, Julia Roberts. We are one of Spotify's top 25 best reviewed podcasts. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan. And what I like, the Mexican to me it was a DVD that my friend had, but
Wow.
never one that interested me enough to watch it.
I didn't think this
just,
movie. I didn't think this movie existed in any sort of physical form before we had to watch it. I'd never
No,
seen
it was in
anywhere.
fact a movie that came out. I don't have the box office mojo in front of me. I don't think it was a big hit film, but I think it did reasonably well in its way. But yeah, I never got around to watching it. But I was a white male film nerd of the 2000s, so this like Tarantino runoff,
very well.
you know, Guy Ritchie runoff, like was like,
Yes.
yeah, it's very nostalgic for me, even though I had never seen this movie before.
Totally.
I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is a feeling that like reminds me of so many movies that I loved, and I never got around to this one at the time.
It did very well in the box office. It made
That was a bit. Hey, 2 big movie stars, you know.
$147.8 million against only a looks like $40 million budget, which is
Hot
Wow.
damn!
so. There
It was
you
a
go.
graveyard
Yeah,
smash.
it was very. The whole time I was like, this feels like a Tarantino riff. Like Pulp Fiction came out, and then I feel like so many filmmakers were like, I can do that. A version.
Let me
of
add
this.
that. Actually,
I went to this.
Let me take a bite off that.
I went to this evil thing while applying to law school that it was a way to kind of get on my essay that I was interested in their specific law program. Anyway, it was about intellectual property, and one of the things that got featured was AI. And there was one guy up there because he was like an executive in intelligence or something. He was really into defense stuff and AI being in defense. There was no reason for him to be at this conference. And he was really excited that AI was being used in drones going to Iran. And one of the things that he wanted to do, because this was USC's law program, was he was like in a room of a bunch of entertainment lawyers, and he was like, oh, what's really cool about Tarantino is that he had this job as like working at a video store, and so he could watch thousands
Classic.
and thousands of movies And one thing that he did by making his movies is he would pull all of these references. Like you can see, he started like kind of doing a laundry list of all of the references that Tarantino used from other movies that he liked. And he was like, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like putting a prompt into AI.
Oh, fuck you.
And
Yeah,
so then
absolutely.
then he went on to be like, I thought that the button for his presentation, I mean, already fuck you because he was so excited about AI being used in drones sending to Iran. But also he went on to like take up maybe 5 minutes of airtime explaining what his prompt would be into AI to recreate Reservoir Dogs.
Oh my god. Wow, this guy sounds like a real cool dude.
This guy's sick. He's
Yeah.
like, I know that, like, you know, there's so many reasons. You know, of course, AI has its practical applications in like medicine and scientific research and things, and I don't know enough about that to speak on it. But like, its application to the arts seems to only be like, well, we could do Reservoir Dogs again. we could remake it in the computer.
And it's shitty
and
guys
get it.
thinking that the quality is the same. They're like, see, this I could do this and so could AI. And it's like the worst shit you've ever seen.
It's so stupid. I mean, yeah, just the dumbest, worst people that you know are like, AI can do all these shortcuts. Isn't that good? And it's like, well, I think you're missing a huge part of why we make art in general.
Yeah, I guess, like, my thing is, like, I watch a piece of art or I listen to a piece of music or I read a book because, like, I want insight into the mind of another human being. I want to, like, feel something and understand something more about humanity. That's a me thing. It seems like most people just want sound and light and color.
Yeah,
and as long as that is present, it doesn't matter.
You don't want thousands of references put into one visual composite and then everyone has like 7 fingers. That's not what you're looking for?
Unless that was the artistic intent, you know, like for me, I'm like, you know, if a wonderful director decides that the characters have 7 fingers in their movie, who am I to tell them no? Who am I to tell them no?
Who am I?
But it seems like the computer did it on accident, which I'm against, you know?
Right.
Speaking of who you are, Jesse Cat, who are you and who is our guest?
Yeah. I'm your other co-host, Jesse Cat Scott. They them pronouns famously. That's a little bit about me.
We love that.
And who are you?
Hi everyone. I'm the guest today, and my name is Sigi, and I use they them pronouns, and what else do I say? And
Anything you want.
And this is
Anything
the
you want.
first time that I've seen The Mexican.
Whoa.
And I do remember when it came out, and I do remember the poster for some reason. I feel like I remember it feeling like it was too adult for me or something. You know, I still think it's funny to say that just the title alone is so funny to me. And after watching the film, I don't feel like it's a good title.
Certainly not.
Feel like it's the right title.
The Mexican is the
think
gut?
the title. No, I think the title should have been Full Throttle, 100%.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
As we established, James Gandolfini is a full throttle gay.
That was
Certainly is.
that was
Are you
the
Full
most
Throttle?
thrilling part of the movie for me was that it was Gay Sopranos, and I had no idea.
It's
We
kind of
gotta
amazing.
unpack that.
Yeah.
Much to
That's
say.
my main.
but
That's my
yeah.
main thing I'm interested in about this movie.
This
Very little else.
screenwriter was watching The Sopranos and it was like, "Oh, I will also put James Gandolfini in my movie, also as a mobster who is also softer than his exterior."
Yeah, if you can imagine that, like this guy, you know, because this movie comes out like 2 seasons into The Sopranos.
Exactly,
you know?
like
So
the
it's
height.
we're getting, it's becoming like a cultural juggernaut. Like The Sopranos and Sex and the City start airing on HBO in the same year. So it's kind
Right.
of like the time where HBO is like, they had programming previous to that, but it was becoming like, oh, this is something that like the cultural eyes are pointed at. Like something is happening over at HBO that is producing these 2 shows simultaneously. And Gandolfini, I think, wins an Emmy pretty quick into the run of The Sopranos. I don't have those facts in front of me right now, but like, he is such a runaway success because of that show. He is like gone from kind of like a guy who would pop up in some movies. You can see him here and there before The Sopranos, but like took off like a rocket in the cultural imagination because of that show.
Yes.
And him playing both in type and against type here is something
treat.
really wonderful.
It was the best part of the movie by far. But I was
Without a
worried for a while that I was like, well, they're going to kill one of the gays, but are they going to kill both of the gays? Yep.
It looks like by the time The Mexican was released, he had already won 2 Emmys and nominated for a 3rd.
Yeah, hot damn. I mean, he's on top of the world. But there is something about, like, you know, if I had watched this movie when I was 15, when I first saw the DVD in like my high school friend's basement,
Of course.
I would have been like super into the Brad Pitt part, but been like, skip over this like relationship road trip stuff, and coming to it for the first time at 33 is such a like, I am so into the Julia Roberts James Gandolfini road trip, like gay bestie road trip that's happening.
So
I
good.
could
Will and
not
Harper.
give less of a shit about like this Brad Pitt finding the gun. Does Bob Balaban want to kill him? Like, who cares,
Dude, yeah, dude.
I love Bob Balaban.
Oh my god, yeah. And also J.K. Simmons. Anything he does, I'll watch it. But including this. But I will say that if Brad Pitt wasn't so fucking hot, this would be such a snooze. Like,
absolutely.
He's a terrible character. This guy is stupid. Like,
and then when
really
he's not stupid, he's fucking annoying. Like, once he starts getting sort of smart, then he's annoying. It was fun when he was so stupid that it was like slapstick, but once it got beyond that, then it was like, this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun when like they're having that fight, like Julia Roberts is throwing him out of the apartment and they're having the fight from like the balcony to the street, and they're just like yelling like, you're diminishing me. You're like back and forth, you know, that kind of
when
therapy
Sigi,
language back and forth. So ahead of the curve on therapy language.
That's when
it was precious.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just when Sigi turned and was like, this is a very different movie than I thought it was going to be.
Absolutely. What did you think it was going to be?
This
What
is
did you
goofy.
expect?
You know, I should have known because it's Gore Verbinski, but I just was like, I think I would have guessed that it was like it's like a gritty crime drama, and instead it's just kind of like a silly, sort of slapsticky crime comedy. Crime caper, I guess. I don't know. It's so diffuse. Like the whole it's so this is the longest 2-hour movie I've ever seen. I couldn't believe that like Julie Roberts and Brad Pitt have their kind of reconciliation moment at the airport, and there's still like 25 minutes left in the movie.
Yeah, this is one of my
crazy.
biggest pet peeves in a movie is when like the like most important part of the movie for me is when James dies, and then we have another 30 minutes of like climax fallout that I don't
Really
give a
tough.
fuck about.
Also,
Really tough.
It's really hard. I think, and there's so much to say about like the gay politics of this movie, but like I feel like if we transport ourselves to 2001, seeing this in a movie theater where there's just like so much debate, I put in quotes, in the cultural sphere, political sphere about like what we're supposed to allow gay people to do and not do. Unlike today where queer people enjoy a full breadth of rights and everything's great.
A buffet of rights that are unimpeachable.
Yes, a panoply of...
a decadent bacchanalia of rights.
I have said this before, though, where I'm like, I actually have big nostalgia for homophobia of the early 2000s.
No, I know what you mean. But so I have a feeling like when you're watching this in 2001 and Brad Pitt kills Gandolfini, spoiler alert, I feel like you're supposed to be like, wow, that's tragic, but of course he had to do it. You know, like the situation is what it is and you got to do it. Watching it today, I'm like, I've already didn't really like Brad Pitt. And now I fucking hate him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately,
but I'm still supposed to kind of root for him. Like, at no point in this movie was I rooting for the hero of the movie. I didn't give a fuck about him succeeding at all. I cared only about Julia Roberts and Gandolfini.
Yeah, exactly. And I
and a little bit about J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
J.K.
you know,
Simmons,
I'm always happy to see J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons was just sort of like, well, one thing that I think works today as well is I think they were kind of ahead of their time with the therapy speak jokes. I think like they used a lot of like psychobabble, like over therapized stuff that I think was really funny and would translate today.
Well, this movie comes out. This piece of theater.
It is a piece of theater if you think about it.
I'm gonna write The Mexican the play. That's what's gonna be called.
Interested.
So bad. Actually, half of it would be so good. It's such like an actual theatrical. The like.
Yeah.
Some of it could work.
It's like all the Brad Pitt stuff is happening off stage in the background, and it's just a two-hander
with puppets
and a three-hander when Michael Cerveris comes in of like.
But then
it's just these two characters.
The stupid cutaways of the big story that they kept doing the film reel sound.
That was such a weird motif.
I found that impossible to pay attention to. Every time they cut to one of those flashbacks about the gun, I would zone out. I've seen the movie twice in like 2 months. I still don't really know what was going on there. I found it impossible to pay attention to the lore.
It's also just doesn't feel at all like the movie both wants to use the gun as a MacGuffin. Like it's not really the point of the movie is like what happens with this gun. Like it is driving the narrative forward, but you're not really supposed to care about it. Like Verbinski's kind of using this gun as a way of as a conduit into I don't even know. I guess like some broad conversation about like relationships and love in like the modern world or something like that. But if you're gonna do a MacGuffin thing, you can't also spend a ton of real estate on the mythology of this fucking thing. It's so dumb.
You know, you watch an Indiana Jones movie, and they're like, Indiana Jones, you have to go find this thing. And they give you, like, a scene. Here's a paragraph about what this is and why you need to go find it. It's
Which
the
is
fucking
all
Holy
we
Grail
needed for
or
this.
whatever.
I
Go
didn't
get
need.
it,
I didn't need all the, like the fake stories about it. You could have taken all of those out, gone to the Gene Hackman bit where he explains where the gun is from, and that's it. That's all I needed.
Truly.
What the fuck?
You know, and if I have one note, we were talking about this a little bit ago. If I have one note for movies in general, but this movie specifically, I would say wrap it up. There's some like watching like Hong Kong action movies of the 80s and 90s, or like movies from America in the 1970s. I'm like, these guys knew how to wrap it up. You watch a movie called like The Deadly Daggers of Kung Fu. Like, they throw the deadly dagger and kill the bad guy, and the credits roll as that body is hitting the ground. You know what I mean? Wrap it up. We're done. You watch Dog Day Afternoon. He gets shot, and the credits roll. Like, that's it. Go home. There's no 15 minutes unwinding, everything. It's like, wrap have
either of you guys seen Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die?
I did.
It's got some of these same issues.
It does. I found at least that movie was so bizarre and had so many weird satirical ideas on its mind that like I had a what are they doing and where are they going fascination. I think the ending is the movie's a little overlong. Certainly could have lost some parts, but like. So much of it was at least like to me more interesting than what was happening in the Mexican.
Yes.
We
the
decided
Mexican.
why movie called that? Why movie called that?
Why movie called The Mexican?
I was worried
Why movie
while
called The
watching it
Mexican?
when they established kind of early. It was like, oh no, is this going to be a movie where it's love wins no matter what, no matter how toxic you are?
And it is.
And we were so close to it
Gandolfini
not being
has
the
like
case.
such a beautiful monologue about that. Is like, you know, like when you really love someone, like there's never too much. There's never enough, which is so beautiful when he says it. I don't necessarily agree with his sentiments that he's expressing.
Well, this relationship in general is so bad. They fucking hate each other, but they think they love each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
This is sort of that time. It's a weird thesis. It's a weird thesis of like, they're doing all this group stuff, they're doing all this therapy or whatever, and they're still fucking horrible to each other. And the thesis says they love each other, so they should be together.
So it's all good. Ugh. This is like, you know, you have that friend that's like, yeah, I mean, you know, like we fight all the time, but like that's how I know we care.
Yeah.
It's because we're fighting all the time. And you're like, no, that means you hate each other.
That means something's wrong. Yeah.
You shouldn't be fighting all the time.
It's like when people are in like the first 3 months of a relationship and they're like fighting nonstop, and it's like, hey, this is supposed to be the fun time.
This is yes, exactly. This is the bunny love phase.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I guess for any of our listeners that did not watch the 2001 film The Mexican, here's the premise. Here's what happens. Brad Pitt is like a low-level kind of LA gangster. And
with the same like long sleeve with a short sleeve sort of primary color on top.
Yeah, iconic 2001 era look on Brad Pitt in this film.
Yes.
He has a longtime girlfriend played by Julia Roberts, and they're trying to make it work, but they just can't. These crazy kids who are both in their early 30s and are maybe a little old for these characters.
Yes.
Brad Pitt gets one last job from gangster Bob Balaban, who you might know from various, Christopher Guest movies or Wes Anderson movies, or is the writer of the McGrowl series
He's
of children's
also
books about a robot dog.
Very prominent theater director.
Absolutely. One of our great guys, Bob Balaban, but here he plays a gangster. And he assigns Brad Pitt to go find this old-ass gun, this cursed, one-of-a-kind gun that everybody wants for reasons that escape me. Brad Pitt has to go down to Mexico to do this. He meets David Krumholtz from the Santa Claus and TV's Numbers, and gives him the gun, but then David Krumholtz is killed by a falling bullet from the sky. People are shooting guns up into the air.
My favorite David Krumholtz is 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
Amazing David Krumholtz. One of our finest David Krumholtz is Oppenheimer. He's wonderful in, we love David Krumholtz.
We love him.
And then Brad Pitt's car gets stolen and the gun, and he goes on. Everyone's like, oh, Brad Pitt's making off with the gun, but actually he lost it. And everyone is chasing after Brad Pitt, including a hitman played by James Gandolfini, who kidnaps his now ex-girlfriend Julia Roberts to go find Brad Pitt. And James Gandolfini is gay.
And he's gay.
And he's gay.
Yeah, he's gay.
He's
Which
big
is
gay.
really fun.
Full throttle.
It was really fun as someone who only recently got into The Sopranos. That was that was my favorite thing. It really sold me for my focus.
What a cast.
Yeah. Really good
Truly.
cast.
What a cast.
Gandolfini.
J.K. Simmons, always good to see him.
Always good to see J.K., who looks the same now, just with no hair.
Exactly.
Yep,
this was
amazing.
fun to see him. It was fun to see him with some hair.
To the point where it almost looks like he's wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe he is.
I think he
Do we
was
know?
in this era. I think he's been bald for a very. He's certainly, in this era, he's about to be in those Spider-Man movies where he's wearing a wig. I think he's just he looked old and went bald super early. So you always think he's older than he is because he looked old when we were young, but actually, you know, he's like in his 60s, maybe his early 70s now.
Wow.
You know, but we've thought of him as old our whole lives. So it
was
ended
also
up working
bald.
out for him.
Also bald, the random gay guy that Gandolfini picks up and immediately falls in love with.
That was so funny.
I mean, wouldn't you if you started fucking Sweeney Todd? You know what I mean? Like it's Michael Cerveris. You meet Michael Cerveris at a truck stop, you fall in love. That's just what happens.
What is he Sweeney Todd in?
Stage.
Yeah.
He's like Michael Cerveris is a famous Broadway actor. You know, he treads the boards.
He does.
I love that.
He does some TV work now, like all Broadway actors, but he's a wonderful theater actor.
We love to see it.
And they fall.
And just once, he got to have sex with James Gandolfini.
I feel like they really overplayed the extent to which those two bonded, because we don't see any of it. We see them like have one conversation in the car, then the three of them dance with a boa.
They have a hotel dance party.
To what song again?
I couldn't tell you.
Doesn't matter. They're all singing. They're having a gay old time.
That makes me think maybe they cut out some of it because it was gay. Like, that makes me think maybe there was more. And
that is probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also, you know, it's already like a 2-hour movie. Like, we're already pushing it. So, like, they had to lose something and they chose the gay stuff.
Release the director's cut.
Yeah, we need a longer version of this.
God, I'm begging for it to be longer.
I would have preferred if there was much more gay stuff and much less the last 30
well,
minutes.
it's just, we didn't, this is my thing, is like they only had that one conversation, then they danced with the boa, then Michael Cerveris tries to lead him into the other room, and Gandolfini and Julia Roberts have frankly a very strange conversation where Gandolfini's like, essentially like, is it okay if I go have sex with this guy? And Roberts is like, please, I really want you to go have sex with that guy. And then they have sex the next, and then you never see this guy again. And yet for multiple scenes after this, Gandolfini is so moved by his run-in with this guy that he's crying when he talks of him. His perspective on life has totally changed.
Yeah, they definitely cut out some shit. That's totally what happened.
If I might play a generous read to this film, you know, the Gandolfini character, Leroy, he seems like, yes, he is gay. He is out. He will say that to Julia Roberts, but he feels very repressed in his sexuality. And
Sure.
so, like, I don't know. I can't speak for everyone, but, like, haven't we all been coming out of like a long dry spell and then you have sex with one person and you're like, this is the most important person who has ever lived, you know? Like, you're like, I don't know.
Sure,
I can't speak for everybody. But
look, Gandolfini, whatever the case, Gandolfini is so good and can sell the shit out of it. And
yeah,
I mean, this movie doesn't have any bad performances in it, I don't think.
No.
I think this is where I was hoping Enora was going, but then he ended up being straight. But my hope for part of Enora was that, like, the bald henchman was secretly gay. And then when that wasn't true. Yeah, the one that was nice to her. I think I was hoping it was going this direction. I am wondering if either of you could explain this quote to me. Guns don't kill people. Postal workers do.
Yes. Well, back in the 90s and still on into the early 2000s, there were actually comparably very few violent mass shootings in America. It sounds hard to believe, but it is true. And several of the ones that were perpetrated by postal workers and members of the U.S. Postal Service. So it became a running joke that there's something about the mail delivery, the never-ending process of mail delivery, that drives people to violent insanity. So that is no longer a part of our cultural lexicon. The phrase "going postal," if you have heard that phrase, comes from the inherent violence of America's USPS workers.
Wow,
I
thank you
did
for
not
explaining
expect
that.
a real answer. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
There's a real answer, and you're so welcome.
Because I was like, what the fuck does that mean? To a way that it was distracting. So awesome.
Wow.
The other thing that was distracting was that the tone of the movie was like kind of silly until he was driving and he saw a cow roadkill, and then the music changed, and it was suddenly like sort of morose again, and then it was a different movie.
I mean, you can't expect like a good a representation of Mexico in a movie from 2001 called The Mexican.
Right.
It's like
It was
the only
like
sepia tone, that kind of like stupid thing, and then also all of Mexico that we see is dilapidated. It's like dirt poor. People are devious. They're two-faced. It's dangerous. They're drunks. They only care about football and alcohol and stealing
guns.
things. You know, it's in, and it wants
and
to
yet
have
it was a
both
little
ways
better
too.
than I thought it would be.
A little bit better
Because it was gay.
And it is also, like, to be clear, presenting like the white Americans as being like these arrogant,
right, like the rental car guy gets one over on Brad Pitt, like, totally owns him, and like there's little bits like that, of course, but it's still, I would say, broadly not so good. But there's it's slightly, the movie, Steven Soderbergh movie Traffic is a year before this, which is kind of like where we all learned about those color filters. This the Mexican comic came out in of course 2000 is also Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is a landmark in color filter technology. That was like no movie had ever really looked like that before, and this was before we decided that Mexico was just yellow. When you're watching Breaking Bad and they go down to Mexico and you're like, is this Mars? Is there like what is going on here?
They have a different sun.
They had a different sun. They have different atmosphere that turns like the environment yellow. We hadn't quite learned that yet.
No.
So it's still shot the same way America is in a way.
And this is not nearly as egregious as like those, the movies that go to like Iran and Iraq, and suddenly it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's like dust everywhere.
So there was the like Mexican music that
there was Mexican trumpets. Also weird running a leitmotif of like the street lights.
That was the last thing I wrote on my notes, and then that's
not street
it.
lights, you know what I'm talking about, traffic lights.
Yeah, that was it. That was my last thought was what was going on. But now I know what was going on because of the car accident.
Yes.
But then it being hammered in so many times. What?
Right. What's the message here? Just go for it. Something like that.
Yeah, I don't
Proceed
know
with
what the
caution.
message.
Yeah.
What have we learned here today about the Mexican? What did we learn about
from
ourselves?
the Mexican? What can the Mexican teach us?
Our neighbors to the south. Yeah, what the Mexican can teach us about relationships.
Oh, we should just, no matter how toxic it is, if you say you love each other, then stick it out.
That's all that
And
matters.
by the end of this movie, they've both murdered.
Right.
True.
They've both committed murder.
Right.
But it's in Mexico, it doesn't count. You just leave,
They're right. It's totally. Well, it's a lawless land.
Mulligan, yeah, there's no cops, they're whatever. They're
There's
all corrupt,
cartels, of course. Right,
yeah, of course.
exactly.
They're the real cops. They're the real law of the land, as we all know.
I guess there was less drugs than I would have expected of
Sure.
this kind. Yeah.
I just Brad Pitt is so charismatic usually, and in this movie they have reduced him to such like a Weasley little shit.
Yep. Yeah, he really just like has to rest on being so hot. Like that's the only thing.
Yeah.
And he could, especially at this time, like he could just rest on being really hot, and we let him get away with it. You know, Brad, his personal life notwithstanding, like he was a very interesting, you know, actor to watch, and someone that was interesting to look at. And honestly, I don't think if you look at his recent work, like F1 or whatever, that like he's giving a fundamentally different performance. You know, it's not his performance as Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not radically different from what we see in the Mexican. He's just old now.
Right. I did think about that translating with the dog, because I so viscerally remember his dog in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And here again he had sort of a give and take with this dog.
Yeah, he had a mean dog.
Yeah.
A vicious rabid dog who very quickly became enamored with him and apparently responded to, like he knows what a gun is.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. Because when you point at an animal, they don't know what you're doing.
No.
So the fact that he was
That's a well-trained dog. That dog gave a great performance, I will say.
Absolutely. I think a dog can learn what stuff. My dog knows what the stove is and knows that like it hates the stove and wants to run away. You know, I think a dog can learn what a gun is with with some unfortunate stimulus.
Sure. Yeah.
It looks kind of like a bone if you think about it. And dogs love those things.
They really do.
A gun is a big stick.
When Julia Roberts gets to that mall, which I don't know if it's in Vegas, on the way to Vegas.
Yeah, on the way to Vegas.
She's sitting in the food court, drinking tab with a straw.
Reading a book called Men Who Can't Love.
What a girl's trip. This was her first Eat, Pray, Love.
Absolutely.
A little better than the second one, you know? It kind of is a more interesting work than Eat, Pray, Love the movie. I'll say it.
I just loved her vision of what she wanted most in life, it being like to go work in Vegas and start as a waitress.
But I kind of hated it. I mean,
mean,
it's a very funny visual gag or reveal that that's the book she's reading, but I also hated that that's what she was reading, because this whole thing was that she just broke up with her piece of shit boyfriend, her like dirtbag, good for nothing boyfriend, and is like, I'm starting my new life. I'm gonna train to be a croupier.
It's kind of an iconic move, and
I'm gonna drink tab, which is such a specific soda choice by Gore Verbinski or whoever did the production design, because it's like tab was, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't tab like specifically marketed to women as like a women's soda?
I don't remember.
Somehow healthier, lower sugar options.
Exactly. Tab. Like I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. So I felt like it was sort of sitting like, look at this independent person. She's new. This is like her new life now. She's drinking tab. But that's the book she's reading. So I was like,
yeah. According to LA Magazine, tab was marketed as a women's drink when it launched in 1963, Mad Men times.
That's really funny.
There you go.
Because I know it died
quote
around.
unquote diet soda.
Tab is pretty yummy.
I think it.
I don't think I've ever popped the tab.
Well, it died around this time, and that was probably having a product placement in this movie was probably part of their last ditch.
Yes,
they're going for broke,
Exactly.
That's so funny. I think I mean I feel like I thought it was her processing getting out of this relationship. I didn't realize.
Okay, that's fair.
Like I know, like when me and many other people will like. I know when I actually haven't read this book, but a lot of people when they're leaving a relationship will read Codependent No More, or like things like that, where like, oh, so you dated a narcissist, now what type books.
Right. Okay, I think that's a fair reading of that moment. I guess I just really what I'm driving at is like Sam, her character.
I believe
I
so,
felt was a little. I just was like, they're simultaneously giving us this person who I think we're supposed to see as like fiercely independent. She knows what she wants. She's articulate. She like understands the herpes speak. She like is ready to move on. She wants to move to Vegas. She wants to become a croupier and start earning six figures with her beautiful, beautiful hands that she inherited from her aunt Vega. What a name.
Yeah, her Aunt Vega, which I was like, okay, are they trying to suggest that she has Latin ancestry? That she's like, gonna be spiritually connected to Mexico? They didn't really follow that thread, if that was the intent.
At the same time, like, she's totally irrevocably tied to this guy and literally cannot move without the assistance or forcible assistance of a different person. And I don't know, it's kind of that like early 2000 late 90s, like we want to have it both ways. Same thing with like the gay character. Like, we want to have a gay character, we want to give him dignity, but also he's tragic and also he's kind of mythological. He's neither here nor there. The Mexicans are they're still dirty and they're still just mischievous, but we're also going to show you that we have arrogant white people. We're going to do it all.
Yeah, it kind of wants to, as they say, have its cake and eat it too. It wants to be like, oh, white people are dumb and they don't understand what's going on, and also play into a series of cultural stereotypes. Yes. If you can believe it, there's actually very little about the production of this movie online. People don't really care. I was just trying to figure out, like, because Julia wins the Oscar for Erin Brockovich, a movie that came out in 2000. She would have won the Oscar in 2001. And we previously on the show have talked about America's Sweethearts, a movie she obviously filmed pre-Oscar and then had to promote post-Oscar and was like,
oh god,
fuck this, like, this movie is so beneath me now, but I have to be out here promoting it. And I wonder, like, where the Mexican... I guess the Mexican came out in March of 2001, so she would have filmed it pre-Oscar.
That's what Euphoria season 3 feels like right now. It feels
I was
like
just about to say that. With Jacob Elordi.
Yeah. And with Zendaya.
And half the cast, Zendaya. Yeah, everyone is like... Am I really still on Euphoria? Am I still here? I guess it kind of feels like, on Girls, Adam Driver sticks out the whole show. He's on all 6 seasons of that show, despite, like, at the time actively becoming like one of the biggest movie stars on the planet who's in these huge movies, but he is always on Girls. He's in almost every episode.
Wow. Yeah. These Elordi, I just saw like the one Jacob Elordi interview where they're like, what's this season like? And he's like, we filmed it and people were there and like
the cast, the crew,
and we said lines to each other. Do you know what I mean? And
Elordi definitely like read only his scenes. He read his parts and he was like, I am fulfilling my contract and I will I'm off.
It's fascinating to also see like he's stuck in this couple with Sydney Sweeney in the context of Euphoria, and compared to like where they're both like culturally right now is very interesting to watch. It's kind of like watching a dumpster fire.
Oh my god, that's so true. Wow, the Erin Brockovich thing is really interesting. I always wondered about that type of thing where she's like staring at her Oscar on herself and she's like, I guess I have to promote the Mexican.
I have to go to the junket and talk about, she worked with her old Ocean's pal Brad, although actually Ocean's 11 is also 2001, so maybe they were like, they kind of worked together twice in the same year, and I don't feel like they have worked together since Ocean's 12. I feel like they are not in another movie together after that point. Whereas like George Clooney is someone that she'll work with again. Dermot Mulroney is someone that she'll come back. Richard Gere, all these people.
Yeah, that's what I was originally surprised to see was her with Brad Pitt, because I'm so used to seeing her with Clooney that I was surprised that I didn't know that had happened. And I was wondering where this like timeline was with Ocean's 11. It's interesting that it was actually before. So they had no idea how big it was going to be.
Yeah, and after that, you know, she wins the Oscars. She has like a whole slew of movies that come out in like 2001, the Mexican America Sweethearts and Ocean's 11, which are now officially we've covered her whole 2001. Actually, nothing else notable happened in 2001. Yeah, I was making the same.
Well,
reference.
I clocked that. I actually had to like look up.
This
while
is
I was
a really
watching
big,
the movie.
yeah.
Well, like the airport situation, I was like, he has a gun just like in his bag. He just like put his gun in his bag, like had
It's a
9/11
different
And no
time.
problem.
And I had
Yeah.
to look it up, and it had not happened yet.
Yeah, when
Literally
you watch
no
Die
problem.
Hard, he's carrying it like on his plane. Like he has like a, you know, it's just like, you're like, wow, it just was a different, you know, people in movies before the year 2001 are always like showing up to the airport to buy a ticket. They're like arriving at the gate. They're like, I'm at the airport. I'm going to buy
Which
a
I guess
ticket.
you can technically still do, of course, but
You can do it when you
but
your plane doesn't come, and then you have to buy a ticket or whatever.
Yeah, you
But
go
it's,
to the
it's
desk,
more
but, like,
it's more an AMC A-list situation at the airport.
It's
now.
definitely an AMC A-list situation. Like,
Especially
you
in
can
LA.
walk up to the
Oh
kiosk in the
my
AMC and buy a
God.
ticket, but all the good ones are taken by
There-
the A-listers.
if any airline, and I mean any airline, offered some kind of version of AMC A list, I would be signing up for that shit so fast.
What's the like 4 flights in 1 week or something?
Meaning like you.
You get three flights a week on your subscription.
No, I mean it would be like, what if
Several a
you paid
year.
What if you paid an annual fee?
Sure, I'm gonna
And you got to
prepay
take-
$1,000,
or-
and I can take a bunch of flights.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude,
I
would fucking
support
do
it.
that.
But you
I
know,
would do that.
basically after she wins the Oscar, Julia has a few years where like she just kind of only does what she feels like. She's taken it that post, you know, there's several different things that can happen after you win an Oscar, and she definitely went like, oh, well, that's over, so I'm just gonna like, oh, what's Steven Soderbergh directing next? I'll pop up in that. What's
Ryan
George
Murphy
Clooney directing?
Yeah.
You know, Mona Lisa Smile. Like, let me go see what Mona Lisa's up to, right? Do a couple of Mike Nichols movies, but she kind of like, I feel like she really takes the throttle off, and she just kind of does what's interesting to her. More Gary Marshall, things like that.
There you go.
I appreciate
Sorry.
that.
Though I wish I had anything else to say about the Mexican, but that was my
maybe the
entire
timing was
note.
perfect,
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm dry. You know, it may be interesting. You know, we chose this movie to talk about now initially because Gore Verbinski had a new movie in theaters. The previously mentioned Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. And you know, this is Gore Verbinski's like second movie. He's like a music video director. Then of course he breaks into features with Mouse Hunt, starring Nathan Lane, and
movie. Honestly,
wonderful
super
movie,
fun
much better than the Mexican, frankly.
It was crazy to watch
and
this
then
and be like, Pirates is after this. Like
2 years
that was
after
also
this,
crazy.
he is on he's on the high seas
What
with
a
Johnny Depp.
career.
But he was probably filming it because those movies usually take longer to film. He was probably filming it like pretty soon after.
Yeah, I feel like the Pirates movies definitely had like a lot of pre-pro and
forgot
take a
about
while
this
to
horrible
film
movie.
and plan.
Did you ever see The Lone Ranger? It was so bad with Army Hammer, canceled Army Hammer.
And
I
Johnny Depp
missed
as
it.
Tonto.
And Johnny
Yeah,
Depp.
Johnny-
Oh, he also
Depp?
did The Weatherman.
And The Ring. Whoa.
Oh, I guess The Ring is before Pirates 1. So he between the Mexican, he does The Ring, which is like a huge like horror sensation.
Yes.
It's a massive movie.
That's a crazy movie.
And then he's stuck in Pirates Land. Not stuck, I will say. The Pirates movies are such
He's
a good
in Pirates
example of
Land.
like we didn't know how good we had it.
Oh my
Like
God.
going back and watching those movies, you're like craft, artistry,
First Pirates is like an exceptional movie, honestly.
really excellent. And of course he does Rango, one of my favorite
Dead Man's Chest,
animated
great, I
movies of the modern
remember.
era.
Rango's great.
I want to.
He returns to Mexico with Rango.
I want to rewatch Rango within the context of having seen the Mexican.
In a-
my
in
God.
a post-Mexican.
Much better.
Yeah.
And then he did
Who's the voice? Who are the voices in Rango?
Rango's
Johnny Depp, of course.
He's the Fisher.
Isla Fisher, Ned
Bill
Beatty,
Nye.
Bill Nye, Abigail Breslin, Alfred Molina, Stephen Root, Harry
Bill
Dean
Nye.
Stanton.
Bill Nye
Timothy
Science Guy.
Olyphant, Ray
Yeah.
Winstone.
Good cast.
What if I just was
Yeah.
whipping this out right from my head?
Something about
That would be
him
incredible.
is
The
he brings
iconic
out a good-
Claudia Black.
Something about him is he brings
Lou
out
Temple?
he brings out a good cast.
Truly.
And I did, like I said, this movie's definitely acted well. I enjoyed.
For what they were given.
It's just at some point I was like, wrap it up.
For sure.
My
You gotta lose
God.
20 minutes easy from this movie somewhere. I don't care where you find it. Maybe you cut the scene where Brad Pitt's like, trucko to the towno. Do we, that's 2 minutes right there that we could just like excise. Don't need it,
There was
There's
plenty of
nothing
logistics.
funnier than a white person not knowing Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if he rents an El Camino. I simply didn't ask the question of where did he get that car. I don't need to know.
There was a lot of logistics that didn't need to be part of it. I actually really enjoyed the movie Project Hail Mary, but same problem. I think 45 minutes could have been
Stop
cut.
flashing back.
Yeah. And also there was so much with that robot that just didn't, or that
Pardon
alien.
you. Pardon
alien.
you, that's Rocky. That's
Yeah,
Rocky. Put some respect. So he
sorry.
saved the stars. Rocky and Grace saved stars.
Saved
Don't
all
out
of
there.
us.
I'm sorry, but there was, I feel like the heart of that was there. The lines of that was there. And there was 45 extra minutes that didn't need to be there. I liked the dancing, but yeah.
No, I don't disagree. Really enjoyed Project Hail Mary. Very Kevin coded movie. I enjoyed the book as well. But yeah, those Andy Weir books that they turned into movies, The Martian as well, they're both like 2 hours and 20 minutes each or something, and maybe we could have shaved a little bit more off of there. Just tiny bit. But also, to a certain degree, like the story is more epic if it is longer. That is just kind of a fact of the matter. So I don't know, but maybe they could have. No,
In the Mexican, it's always interesting to me to watch a 2-hour movie, which I think is a reasonable amount of time for a movie, and go, this could have been 30 minutes shorter. That's when you're like really like,
It should have been
whoa.
a clippy
Stuff.
90 minutes, fast-paced
Yeah.
thing, jumping back. I don't know. I must have been so disappointing though at the time this movie came out to be like, well, I'm off to see that rom-com with Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And then they're barely on screen together.
Yeah, that was sort of a marketing ploy, I feel.
Yes, the poster is the final shot of them getting engaged on the street of this.
Yeah, because they're
The
megawatt
tagline.
stars.
Yeah.
They're megawatt stars, so that's how they got that crazy box office. Is because
Yes,
Absolutely.
back when it used to, when box office draw used to actually mean something.
yeah,
Being a movie star was real. It meant your
real
movies
thing.
you were in made a lot of money almost always.
Yes.
The tagline of the movie that they put on the poster is "Love with the safety off." Like they were really leading into the fact that this is a relationship movie with Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts, which is
and so
the
many
least
ways it
interesting part.
Love the safety.
love wins. Love wins was
Love
was
wins.
my tagline for this.
These crazy kids.
Love is love.
Love is love.
Love is love.
What was the big stupid line? It was like, what if it's not? Is it enough if you? And then the line was like,
No.
never. Or
It was like, how do two
Oh,
people
yeah.
are in love and they just
just
but
can't
they
get it
can't really
together.
get it straight. How do you know when enough is enough? And he goes, never.
Never.
And
Yeah.
I went, well, that's not healthy.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the callback at the end when she shoots the guy in the throat, which made no sense.
About it.
She said
Yeah.
something else instead of like you don't.
She said wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
Lame.
God.
I do want, but like we're speaking about all the stuff about this movie that sucks, but like I just want the audience to imagine James Gandolfini saying this short monologue.
Look, in my business, you're surrounded by loneliness and finality. Now, I don't care what your take is on an afterlife. When people die, it's scary. And they go alone. Now, the people that I send off, that have experienced love, they're a little less scared. I mean, they're still scared, but there's a calmness to them. And I think that comes from the knowledge that somebody, somewhere loved them and cared for them and will miss them. Now, I see that from time to time, and I am awed by it. I don't think I'd be telling you any of this if it wasn't for Frank. Anyway, it's a loaded question. Look, when two people love each other, totally, truthfully, all the way love each other, the answer to that question is simple, especially in your case. When do you get to that point where enough is enough? Never. Never.
And also in the context of him being a hitman, and saying that of like, you know, I kill people all the time. Every time I kill a guy,
sometimes they die.
Sometimes
softly.
sometimes when I kill a guy, if he had a girlfriend, I can tell.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy that's who gets to say this speech. But when he said, I wouldn't be telling this if it were for Frank, who he just met
The night before.
Like that would be
very
an
lesbian coded.
Yes, it really is. I mean, it is.
He's really
queer.
a U-Haul lesbian, yeah.
And it is really queer for sure. And I feel like that quote would have been really good in The Pit. And it's just really funny to come from a hitman.
God.
Like there's some writing that kind of works, and it's just in the wrong places.
Also, just the very premise of this thing is that Brad Pitt runs a red light and gets into a car accident with Gene Hackman, and therefore he's indebted to him.
Yeah.
Why?
I
don't know.
And then J.K. Simmons has like a
he doesn't have
payment plan.
insurance. Yeah.
J.K. Simmons has a payment plan until he can like retire, and that's like
In
his
Boca.
situation. Yeah, he has like a timeshare hitman situation.
Oh my God. Brilliant film.
Yeah. Really fascinated by this is sort of there was a lot of sort of action movies like this that I feel like came across the desk in Hollywood, and I'm just
Thousands.
so
Yeah.
grateful it's not
A thing anymore?
not just not as
But
much
in a
of
way,
thing.
I miss it. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
sure.
you know, today
This is sort
The
of-
Mexican is a prestige
this is-
miniseries. It's
this
10
is when-
hours long.
Yeah,
you know?
this is when you were coming up, you know, as a person
Yeah.
that watches movies.
I'm just nostalgic for this kind of movie, even when they suck. I'm
There's
just like, this
that-
feels good.
Yeah. There's that Andy Garcia one that was also like things to do in Denver when you're dead or something.
Oh yeah,
like
and
that.
8 heads in
crazy
a
names.
duffel bag, and
Eight
you know
Heads in a
all
Duffel
these like
Sure.
not even Tarantino or Guy Ritchie movies, but the people who were ripping them off. There's a very specific feel. Lucky Number 11, you know, like these movies that like
Oh my God, Lucky
are
Number
not
11, yeah.
are not strictly speaking good, but are
Like that,
there's a
like-
stickiness to them to me, you know? Yeah.
I
What a
don't
movie.
I don't know what that is.
Lucky Number 7.
Josh Hartnett crime film covered just this year on the Hogs to Slop podcast.
Apologies.
It's okay, but it's a movie that I've seen 300 times in my life, and never once have I been sure if it's good or bad. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna come down fully on one side or the other. It's both incredible and unwatchable. I love
Around
Lucky Number
Guy.
11. Knock around guys.
7 Psychopaths.
Oh, another movie. Oh, Seven Psychopaths. A beautiful movie to
Psychopaths.
be. Beautiful movie.
The
to
writer
be.
of the
Smoking Aces. I remember that movie too.
Oh yeah. That classic.
Classic movie.
the writer
They
of the
gotta kill
Mexican-
Jeremy Piven.
The writer of The Mexican does not have a lot of very good credits. I don't know if that's surprising.
No,
for
he
you guys.
did the show Fringe for many years, which many friends have told me to watch
Oh.
Fringe.
Sure.
I just don't know if I'm ever gonna do that.
Yeah, J.H. Wyman. He also wrote Dead Man Down in 2013.
Another of these kinds of movies, the Colin Farrell movie, Dead Man Down.
Colin Farrell and Noomi Rapace.
Wow, Noomi Rapace.
Mr. Rice's Secret. Now this is
I'm sorry,
actually
Mr.
interested.
Rice? Mr. Rice's?
Mr. Rice's
What are the secrets of Mr. Rice?
In the year before the
David
Mexican,
Bowie?
with none other than David fucking Bowie.
Is he Mr. Rice? Or is he the secret?
He must be Mr. He's Mr. William Rice. And listen to this. A terminally ill boy's life is saved when his deceased 400-year-old friend, Mr. Rice, leads him on a treasure hunt to find a magical potion of life.
Sounds very good.
I gotta
listening. This movie does. Mr. Rice does not have a lot of logs on Letterboxd.com. I think you could be like the 100th person who acknowledged the existence of Mr. Rice.
Oh my god, Mr. Rice's Secret. What a terrible,
really bad. Rolls off the tongue. Mr. Rice's Secret.
400 years
very old. How do you get so old? I guess that's the secret.
The whole movie is on
God
YouTube,
bless.
and we're gonna watch it right now.
The rest of the show is a watch along of Mr. Rice's Secret.
Mr. Rice's Secret.
Are you familiar with the movie Mary Riley?
No.
And why not?
I don't think I am.
Explain yourself.
Don't worry about it.
What were you going to say about Mary Riley?
Don't worry about it then. It's
our friend.
It just feels like it exists sort of in this universe of the kind of content we're talking about. Mary Riley is one of the worst Julia Roberts movies on her roster, and it is a Jacqueline Hyde movie with John Malkovich and Glenn Close, and you would think that would set it up for some success.
Really,
and
deeply
you would be
terrible.
wrong. It is
It's
one of
definitely the
worst
worst
thing I've
thing
ever seen.
So where
done on
are
the
you
show.
guys on? This is an off mic conversation, but I'm so curious
There it is.
where you are. In
Yeah,
this whole thing.
we hop around. We have covered the.
But like how many we've done? We've
Like, what
covered.
was left?
We're saving Aaron
the end.
Brockovich because we need to have something
There's
left.
still.
But how many have we
Something
watched?
like
We've
that.
watched like
And
25 maybe.
Does she need to be a prominent
No.
part of the movie, or even
No.
if she's in like?
No, we've seen
cameo?
everything. We've even started like when we're in between kind of a guest or something. We watched her Law and Order episode recently. We watched her terrible series Gaslit. We watched she was in a couple of like TV movies early career
We watched those.
that we combined into one. Our
And when's the book coming out?
opening song that our dear listeners heard at the beginning of this is from a movie called Satisfaction that I think is
it was released in theaters,
straight
but
to
it was a flop
Okay.
starring unknown actor Julia Roberts. You know, it just kind of didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, because she really didn't. I think '88 was her first project.
Mystic Pizza, of
and
course.
we've covered covered a lot of the '90s. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did
we did
Firehouse.
Firehouse.
We have. Yeah, and we
Yeah, we're
have.
probably
I
like
think we're
25.
certainly over halfway at this point. I'm looking at the master doc, and like a couple of these things
Yeah.
are gonna come off, you know. But we've been hopping around, but there's a few major works still left on here. You know,
We're sort of in our conspiracy. We're still sort of in our conspiracy season.
is coming
So
up.
Flatliners.
We
did
have not done
Conspiracy
that
Theory.
yet. We have not done that movie.
What about Big Bird's birthday?
We have not done conspiracy theory.
Which
that
one?
hasn't
TV
happened
special Big Bird.
yet. You said it like
That's
it's
true.
come and gone. It hasn't.
That's true.
Hasn't happened yet.
Oh my God, dying.
You're right. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the one with Sam Rockwell.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind.
Yeah, they both
The
start
mind
with
was so
C.
dangerous.
How about Sesame Street Jam, a musical celebration?
Not yet, no.
No.
So you can come on for that if you're interested.
Yeah.
If you're interested in returning. We did do I Love Trouble. You listened to Freda Porter.
Iconic
Some of it,
episode.
probably. Mary Riley, horrible.
Michael Collins.
We haven't watched Michael Collins.
She did 2 movies where she did an Irish accent in the same
Oh my
year.
God, you gotta.
So I'm not doing Woody Allen. But TV's Kevin
I will at
is.
some point get the Woody Allen episode together.
Yeah, but I'm not signed on for that.
Because it's Woody Allen.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm not interested.
Listen, I understand.
I don't need to add more. It's like I've seen what I needed to
For sure.
see.
For damn.
Notting Hill, yes. Runaway Bride, yes. Aaron Brockovich, pending.
Hook was going to, there's a new Steven
about
Spielberg next
Julia
month.
Roberts'
I was going to suggest we do Hook in June.
Yeah, I have a guess for Hook
Hell
as
yeah,
well.
on the
so
Hook.
Are you gonna watch the Wild Horses of Mongolia?
we gotta.
We gotta. It's our burden. It's our holy ordinance. We gotta run the Julias. It's not a joke.
I love this concept of this.
And the Julias.
And
full frontal.
Okay, we're staring down the barrel of the secrets in their eyes. Ben is back, but we're saving a few.
We did our best.
Mona Lisa smiles, Steel Magnolias. We haven't done. We're saving. So many of the great ones are still ahead of us.
The great.
We yeah.
I like that it's kind of just a pick and choose thing, and rather than going in like sort of chronological.
No,
that
we
would
couldn't
be
because the interest
so
would be all over the
challenging
place.
after the year 2000. Imagine we're only covering her post, Ocean's 11 movies. Tough.
Right, exactly.
Follow up. We did do ample. We did some of the hardest. We did like election day or like inauguration day when we needed to think about anything
Smurfs
else.
the Lost Village.
So Smurfs the Lost Village was election day 2024.
We do My Best Friend's Wedding
Yeah,
every
we covered
year.
that. Don't
We've done
worry.
it 3 times.
Yeah, we do My Best Friend's Wedding every New Year's Eve.
Why?
We don't know, but
Duplicity. Oh my god, I'm now all these fucking.
we haven't seen it.
I'm so excited for Duplicity.
We did Valentine's Day. Don't worry. We did Eat, Pray, Love. Don't worry.
We did Mother's Day. Don't worry.
I couldn't tell you. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll see how much. There's one movie. Oh my god, it's so funny. In The Player, the amount of screen time that Julia Roberts has in The Player is so funny. But I cannot wait for whenever I'm released from like the burdens that I've been part of for the past year. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write the entire screenplay of a fictional movie within The Player, and I cannot wait. And that is what she stars in. She's in a movie within a movie.
We have to do a live reading of Habeas Corpus, right? We have to do like a cast read of Habeas Corpus. Absolutely.
I can't wait to write it.
What a good
I can't
idea.
wait to watch The Player, take notes about what's in there, and then write Habeas
What a
Corpus.
good idea, Jessie Cat. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, Wonder was tough.
challenging.
Wonder was a tough one. It wasn't. I mean, it was still kind of interesting compared to some of. Ticket to Paradise. I don't remember.
It's I don't know. If you're
don't
kind of like
remember it.
sleepy on a plane or something, I think you can make a lot worse choices than Ticket to Paradise. I don't
Yeah,
think it's a sit down,
think
hands
between-
folded kind of movie.
I think between Ticket to Paradise and Leave the World Behind, maybe Leave the World Behind.
Oh, Leave the World Behind was interesting. I don't know, flawed but interesting.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts' next new movie will also be directed by Sam Esmail, who did Leave the World Behind and the Homecoming miniseries that we will be watching eventually for this show, starring Julia Roberts. Yeah, Panic Carefully, directed by Sam Esmail. The premise is the hunt for a cyber terrorist. It stars Littlefinger from Game of Thrones, Elizabeth Olsen, Eddie Redmayne, Brian Tyree Henry, Joe Alwyn, Wilf Scolding. It's a Wilf Scolding film.
Well,
It's got Wilf
sign me
in
up.
it. He played
Anyway, so the
he played
Mexican.
Vanis Tico on Andor. Wilf Scolding.
I don't have anything else to say about the Mexican, but Sigi has some projects coming up that I'd love to plug.
Thanks.
If you would like to, here's your time.
Oh, sure. If you're listening to this and you're in LA, my solo show, QFWFQ, which is spelled QFWFQ, is playing the Elysian on May 28th, and UCB in LA on June 24th, and a couple other dates. And if you're in Scotland, I'll be at the Edinburgh Fringe. And then if you're in Australia, I'll be at the Sydney Fringe. And otherwise, you can go to my website,
Fringe
which is
Queen.
actually gregnussen.com. Greg Nussen, Nussen.
And
.com.
you're available for work to some extent
For work.
as a failed screen.
Yes, I am
rant.
a former lead film critic for a website called Screen Rant, and you can also find my writing on Deadline or Slant Magazine and some previous writing in Salon and some other places. But all that stuff on my website, GregNussen.com.
Hell yeah.
How do you spell it again?
GregNussen.
There it is. And you know, I'm on private still until I get into the law schools I want to get into. But more to come. I'm gay for PowerPoint. The 4 is the number 4. Gay for PowerPoint on Instagram. Jesse Catscott, they them. Thanks so much for joining us once again.
And I'm TV's Kevin Lanigan on all the stuff, but you already knew that. And Hogs to Slop is the other show. And now that I am so close to being done applying to grad school, be on the lookout because I will finally have time to put my book out. So be on the lookout for the book out. And you can find all that at tvskevinlanigan.com and for as little as $1 a month at patreon.com/tvskevin. We will be back next month with more Julia Roberts. Maybe it's going to be Hook. I've never seen Hook before. Will I like Hook? Good question.
I think if you didn't grow up with it, my prediction is...
I think I might be challenged as a 33-year-old, but we'll see.
But it's always a treat.
I
always
do kind of love it, but...
Yeah, it's always a treat to see Robin Williams, no matter what.
No matter what.
Whatever it is.
But until then, why you call movie The Mexican? Why you call a movie that?
And it's about a gun.
gun? The Mexican is the gun?
Let's call it The Gun.
Call it The Gun.
The gun. Hey, has there been a movie called
Full Throttle?
You didn't even unpack what Full
Oh yeah,
Throttle
Full
is.
Throttle. Last note is when asking if he was gay, asking if James was gay, Julia Roberts asked, but like Full Throttle? We were all supposed to know what that meant.
Yeah. And he goes, yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess.
So
I guess I'm full throttle.
So I thought that I
guess I'm full throttle then.
I guess that means that she's like gay. He's not bi.
He's full
right, but
gay.
it was already established that he wasn't gonna like assault her because he's gay.
You were wondering if it meant that he's a top.
I was like, it's because it's already been established that he's gay because he's not interested in her. But
which is the only
But then
reason
Full
that he
Throttle.
wouldn't sexually assault her. That's a frequent topic of conversation in the movie.
yeah,
Why wouldn't that happen? Well, because he's gay.
Until that scene, I earnestly thought that the movie was like angling us to like root for them.
yeah, because they had
that
chemistry.
movie sounds way better than this movie. If it's a movie about Gandolfini and Julia Roberts falling in love, I am seated.
No, I still wanted Gay Sopranos. I didn't know it was possible, and I'm glad I have it. But the rest of it was not for me.
Understood. Gay Sopranos is a new show at the UCB New York. I'm going to be putting on. It's all about. You know what it's about. You don't have to guess. It's about what if they were gay. Come on.
What if Sopranos?
What if Sopranos was gay? I think it would go a little something like this.
I do like the way they throw around slurs in that show, though.
Yeah, and it's all like Italian slurs that you're like, what's that even mean? Is the stunad? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
Lies, you're telling me that you'll be true. Lies, that's all I ever hear from you. Tears, I shed a million tears for you. Tears, and now you're loving someone new. Someday I'm gonna be happy, but I don't know when just now. Lies, you're breaking my heart.
Tastes like you, but sweeter.
Please tell your friends about this show.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining. I want to live!
This has been a Talkback Podcast.